So this is the cute little box that we're making today. And so I'm starting with a 7" by 11" piece of real red. And I'm going to score at 1/2 and 1.5. And then I'm going to score at 5.5 and 6.5. And I will put all these measurements on the video probably. Okay. And I'm going to turn it and I'm going to score at 2.5, 3.5, 6.5, 7.5, and 10.5. Okay. Have a 1/2 inch on this end, and this end is there's the little 1/2 inch line is down here. So I'm going to cut off these 4 panels here, the little two little 1/2 inch sides, and these 2. So I'm going to cut off those.
Oh no.
You okay?
Yeah.
Did you have a tail on the table?
A tail and nose, I know. I got it. Probably.
Okay, so I'm going to cut those 2 off. Okay, and then I'm going to cut off these, well, I'm going to cut the sides in. So I'm going to cut these in and just wedge them. Then down, I'm going to continue on down here and I'm going to cut off these 2 to start with. And these 2 over here. The same thing on both sides. So then I'm going to wedge this and I'm going to cut this because this is going to be a flap. And wedge that one. And I'm going to trim off this little end here. Should have stayed with it. I'm going to have you guys all confused, aren't I? So I'm cutting these little wedges so that they're going to be the tuck-ins. And you're going to cut off the little tab on each of those little, I've got one more here to cut. Okay. Now I'm going to go back and I'm just going to angle each one of these a little bit just to make them easier. This one's going to tuck in, and so I want it to angle easier. And these as well, it just gives a little play in it. So. Okay, I think that is good. And I will put a copy of this pattern online. I'll put it on my webpage. How about that? Okay, these are the curvy die. No, they're curvy. They're celebration dies. So I'm going to take, I think it's the second to the largest. Yeah, second to the largest on this. Now, if you don't have these, you could use a corner rounder. You could just leave them square at the top. You could do any die that would work for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in my machine like that. Hoping you guys can see that okay. And I'm going to put it so that this is at the top. Right, so my die is in there just like that. I want to line it up with the top and on the sides. And then I'm going to come through and I'm going to put this, I'm going to come through this way. And I only want to put this plate to the score line. So through the score line here, I'm only going to put the plate to that score line. That's all that I want it to cut. Is there any way to help? Okay, I got it. Oops, I want to fold this up so it doesn't get caught in those edges. Okay. And I'm just going to go until it drops. And now I'm pulling my plate out. And see, now I have this beautiful little design on the top. That's what I was after. Okay.
No, we'll change.
Done with it. Okay. So then we're going to trim that off. And I didn't cut quite far enough down. So I'm just going to trim down too. Well, maybe. Okay. Okay. So this gets folded. So this is my front. This is the side with the, you know how the dies have a good side and a bad side. So this is my, not bad, but not as pretty side. This is the good side. This gets folded so that the box, this is the tricky part of it.
Right.
So
Comes up.
I want to turn this face down, I think, and fold it this way.
What bundle was those die cuts from?
They're the celebration dies. Okay, because I know that this is how I want it to be. So I folded all of it back, that towards the back, except for this one, and I folded this one to the front because I know that that's how it's going to have to be on the top. So that tells me that I did it right. Okay, so I folded all of them to the back, to the inside of my box, except this one, and I folded it over here and fold it back here. And then that tells me it's going to be on the top. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some adhesive, some tear and tape, which is right here, across this. And I'm going to put it on, trying to figure this out, which side I want to put it on. So I want to put it on, this is my inside. I'm going to put it on my outside. So I'm going to fold it over and put it on the outside edge. Okay. Yeah. So then I'm going to peel that off. Maybe. And fold that down. Okay, and there's my box. Just that easy.